So last season left us off with a little cliffhanger. So why don't we get through this to get to the massive cliffhanger of this season. Hello Peace Spacians, watch our show. My name is JustinTime. Today we're going to be talking about Lucifer Season 2 in preparation of Lucifer Season 4 coming out this Wednesday. Not sponsored. Again, I didn't get to watch Season 2 in preparation of this video. I didn't have enough time to watch these seasons, so I just went through a synopsis of the episodes to get the plot of the whole season, and I'm not going episode by episode like the previous one, so why don't we just get to it. So Season 1 ended with Lucifer finding out that their mom escaped hell. Now it begs the question why his mom was in hell, and why is he so frightened? And he explains that it's because he tortured his mom because he had to, and he's kind of scared that because it's his mom and she might want revenge. And also because there's a celestial being on the loose in Los Angeles, most likely. Amenadiel and Lucifer are trying to catch this celestial being to make sure she doesn't fuck up anything. While that's going on, Lucifer and Chloe are investigating a murder of a teenage actress, which leads to a beautiful cover of All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix by Tom Ellis at the end, and then we see her. We meet Mum. Or I'm going to call her Mum because that's how Tom Ellis pronounces mom, because he's from the UK. So Mum. So Mum is actually in the body of a murder victim named Charlotte Richards. So Lucifer has to figure out how to cover up that murder by making it look like that it was an attempted murder, even though it was a murder. But Charlotte is alive. It was a big mess on Lucifer that Lucifer had to clean up, but he ended up cleaning it up. And if you remember in Season 1, spoilers, also if you haven't watched the video, go watch it, link in the description. Lucifer pleaded to God that if he protected Chloe, that Lucifer would do anything that God needed him to do, and God wanted him to capture Mom and send her back to hell. But Lucifer used a loophole. He punished Mom by making her live the life of Charlotte Richards and live among the humans that Mom despises. Mom didn't really like God's little side project, humans. And while that's going on, we find out that Amenadiel is kind of becoming a fallen angel. That, or he's losing his powers because his wings fucking rot away. But back to the whole Charlotte scenario, Amenadiel gets a little worried because Lucifer using the loophole that their father God won't like that, and Amenadiel is right because at the end of that episode, Chloe gets into a car accident. We learn that car accident was caused by Lucifer and Amenadiel's younger brother Uriel. He is the angel of patterns, I'm assuming, and he caused a series of events to try and kill Chloe, but she survived the car crash. And the reason why he's causing series of events and not just going up and stabbing the bitch is because angels can't kill humans, and that kind of gets brought up more in Season 3. When we get there, we'll get there, but we're in Season 2. So Lucifer has Amenadiel because he's the older brother and has his wings. He's more stronger than Uriel, so he asked him to go there, and Amenadiel's kind of worried, like he's making sure, he hopes Uriel doesn't realize that he's not as powerful as he usually is, so he tries to scare Uriel into leaving, that he has it under control, but then Uriel ends up kicking Amenadiel's ass, causing Lucifer to find out Amenadiel is losing his powers. Lucifer goes to an abandoned church, kind of ironic, and he prays for Uriel to arrive, and Uriel plans to use a piano or an organ in the abandoned church by clicking one note that will cause a series of events that will definitely kill Chloe this time, most likely. Chloe is very hard to kill apparently, and you'll even find out more later on in this video. So Lucifer and Uriel start to beat it out, and Lucifer's just overpowering Uriel, but Uriel's kind of doing what Iron Man did in Captain America Civil War, where Friday was analyzing all the punches, and then she goes, analysis complete, and then catches it, and he's like, let's kick some ass, and he starts fighting Cap based off the patterns. That's what Uriel basically does, but he's born to do that. He doesn't have a fucking computer. What I forgot to mention, because I just got into the fight, Uriel stole their younger sister's sword. Her name's Azrael. She's the angel of death. This sword not only can kill people, but it literally wipes celestial beings from existence. It destroys their souls, and Uriel plans on doing that to their mom if Lucifer won't take her back to hell. But anyways, back to the fight. Maze jumps in, but is overpowered because angels are more powerful than demons. Who knew? But in the whole scuffle, Uriel lost the blade, and we're about to see Uriel press the key, and Lucifer runs up and stabs his brother with Azrael's blade, effectively wiping Uriel from existence. His soul gone. This causes Lucifer to have severe depression to the point where Lucifer starts drinking his problems away, but he finally overcomes it through his therapist, Linda, who was in the first season, but I forgot to mention her. Linda is also the first human to know that Lucifer is actually the devil, that wasn't a villain or someone Lucifer didn't like. Fast forward, and we're going to go to part of the series where Lucifer has to find out, or they're investigating a murder, and Lucifer recognizes a blade, a certain blade that shouldn't be running around Los Angeles, and he's confused because he buried the blade with his brother, and he goes to the gravesite to find that Uriel's grave has been desecrated and Azrael's blade has been stolen. So now, not only are they investigating these series of murders, because the sword is technically alive, it wants to do stuff, and when mortals hold it, it just brings out their darkest primordial states, and they just kill. And cops usually take the weapon, so Lucifer has to figure out how to separate the weapon from this investigation so they can keep the blade away from people. And it ends up possessing Dan, who I forgot to mention in the first video. Dan is Trixie's father and Chloe's ex-husband. He actually tries killing Lucifer with the blade, but then we learn that the blade is actually part of the flaming sword, the sword that was used to protect the gates of Eden, or the Garden of Eden, and the only person that can actually ignite the sword is Lucifer. But we find out that the sword has been broken up into 3 pieces, and they have to find the other 2. Now we get to Mom. Mom has a plan to go back to heaven. She wants to go back to heaven. She wants to bring Amenadiel and Lucifer back, and the only way they can do that is by cutting the gates of heaven with the flaming sword. But Lucifer doesn't want to go. So Mom tries to kill Chloe. This is why. Mom buys a bomb and plants it on Chloe's car. She wants to kill her because Lucifer doesn't want to leave because of Chloe and how much fun he's having on Earth. So if Mom gets rid of Chloe, then Lucifer has no other reason to be on Earth. And while that's going on, Amenadiel steps in and stops Mom from killing Chloe because that would just piss Lucifer off. But also in that mix-up, Amenadiel also meets Chloe's mom and recognizes her and realizes something, goes to talk to Mom, Charlotte Mom, and tells Charlotte that Chloe is a miracle child, that he actually granted a miracle for God back when Chloe's parents wanted to have a kid. While that's going on, Lucifer and Chloe are after a ex-college professor who is poisoning people and giving people who are high in their fields an ultimatum to either damage or destroy something in their career that will in turn save this person's life. And he's using poisons that only he knows the antidotes to, and no one can really make it because no poison is the same, and it's all a conundrum. Lucifer saves 2 people. Chloe goes to arrest the professor, and the professor slits his neck, thus killing himself. And after all that, Chloe and Lucifer are gonna have, or like their relationship is going places. They actually kissed until Lucifer finds out Chloe is God's doing. So he goes to confront Chloe to find out that she has been poisoned by the professor before he killed himself. And the only person that knows the antidotes is the professor. Trying desperately to save Chloe, Lucifer comes up with a plan. Lucifer does what he did in season 1, where he goes to hell and to get knowledge, but this time he doesn't have God to bring him back. So what he does is he's going to kill himself near Chloe so he can actually die, go to hell for about a minute in our world, find the professor, get the antidote, come back to life through Linda and Maze using defibrillators. And while that's going on, Amenadiel has to keep Chloe in the room because Lucifer is in the room below, thus keeping him dead/vulnerable. Problems occur in the plan when Lucifer ends up getting stuck in his own cell in hell for all his guilt about killing Uriel, and it takes Charlotte/Mom to come in, rescue him. Fast forward a bit and we meet a character named God Johnson. I am not making this up. So God Johnson is supposed to be God, like God, like God, that God. But it turns out by the end, he's not God, he's God. I'll explain. God Johnson bought a belt buckle, and that belt buckle gave him the healing hands of God and the knowledge of God, making him think he's God. But what also turns out is that that belt buckle is part of the flaming sword. So now they have 2 pieces, 1 to go, and they find out that last piece is Amenadiel's necklace. And Amenadiel decides to back out of the plan, and he gives the necklace to Dan to hide. And while that's happening, Charlotte gets stabbed by a crime lord's kid, and her goddess light blasts out of her stomach, burning the kid and killing him. So now Charlotte's a murderer. And now Chloe's after Charlotte, Lucifer's after Charlotte and the necklace, and he's trying to kind of stop the plan. Lucifer's plan is to take Charlotte to heaven, kick her in the gate, close the gate, and go back to Earth and let God and Charlotte duke it out. But Charlotte, now mad and not knowing that plan, goes to look for the necklace, the sword, and the belt buckle, which are together. And she goes to Linda, Lucifer's therapist, because Linda and Amenadiel are starting to get a thing. Charlotte thinks that Linda will know that where the sword is, and Linda doesn't know. Thus, Charlotte burns her severely, nearly killing her. And after that happens, we see Lucifer finding Dan at the Santa Monica Pier, getting the necklace, finding Chloe and Dan cornering Charlotte. Charlotte's talking to Chloe. Chloe's trying to get Charlotte to arrest. Lucifer knows what might happen. She's going to reveal her light, burning the entire pier. So Lucifer's trying to stop everything, getting Charlotte to just surrender. And then we get back to Linda. Maze, or Mazikeen, the demon from season 1, she is friends with Linda, and she finds Linda with, or Amenadiel and Maze find Linda severely injured, dying. So Amenadiel uses every fiber of ounce he still has of his power to slow down all time in LA to try and save Linda, making Maze's trip from a 30-minute trip into 5 minutes to get Linda to a hospital that's about 30 minutes away. When that happens, Lucifer takes the opportunity, because all celestial beings still move around real time, he takes that opportunity to chuck Charlotte over the pier, jumping to the beach, and they have a conversation. Lucifer then uses the flaming sword to slice open a hole into the fabric of reality, telling his mom, instead of going to heaven, why don't you create your own world? But there's a catch. Charlotte will never be able to see her kids, and what I've never told you yet is Charlotte may seem evil, but the one thing she puts before herself are her kids. Lucifer points out if they return to heaven, there will be a war, and there will be more people harmed than saved. So Charlotte, knowing what's best, leaves and goes to that world, or Mom, I should say. Because after that, time comes back to normal, Linda is perfectly fine, and Charlotte, like Charlotte's human soul, comes back to Earth somehow. I don't think they really explained it. When Lucifer visits Linda, talks to her, makes sure she's alright and doing well, he's about to go reveal to Chloe that he's the devil, until he gets kidnapped. And he wakes up in the middle of the desert, not knowing what the hell happened. He's shirtless, he doesn't have shoes, all he has is pants, and he looks up at the sky, and his angel wings sprout from his back, and he has his wings back, and that's where season 2 ends. I told you there'd be a bigger season 2, there'd be a bigger cliffhanger for season 2. So what would I give season 2? Season 2 is my favorite of the seasons. Like, season 1 wants you to get to know the characters and want you to have a relationship with the characters. Season 2, I feel like, is more set up. The drama flows well. You know, that season 3 we'll get to, but is more complex than season 2. So that's why season 2 is my favorite one at the time, until 4 comes out, because I want to see 4. So what do I give season 2? I give Lucifer season 2 a Netflix-worthy binge. So have you seen Lucifer season 2? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Come Time Traveler today. If you want to help support my videos, go to my Patreon. Link in the description below. And until next video, I will see you in the future. Bye, guys.